Today you're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil or a whiteboard and a marker because we're going to practice some problems together and you are going to grow your brain. We're focused on multiplying decimals by whole numbers today. And there'll be another video practicing multiplying decimals by decimals, but essentially it's the same strategy. So we're going to do some numerical problems first and then we'll get into a few word problems. I'd like you to just watch me do number 1. You don't need to do number 1 yourself, just so you can check out the strategy I'm using. So we're going to multiply 3 2/10 by 4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to check out what two whole numbers 3 is between. On the low end, the 3 2/10 would be a whole number of 3. And on the high end, it would be a 4. So I'm going to use that to multiply it by 4. 3 times 4 is 12, and 4 times 4 is 16. That means our final answer is going to be between 12 and 16. That's going to help us place our decimal. Next, we're going to remove the decimal point and multiply the whole numbers using standard algorithm. 4 times 2 is 8. And 4 times 3 is 12. And I can put the whole 12 down because there's no other number to multiply by. However, some teachers teach that a little bit differently, so let's take a look at that. 32 times 4. Again, 4 times 2 is 8. And 3 times 4 is 12. And some teachers ask you to carry the 1 into the hundreds column, but then you're multiplying 4 times 0 and adding the 1 afterwards. Finally, we're going to figure out where to place that decimal point so that our answer makes sense. Our estimate shows that it should be between 12 and 16. When we multiplied by whole numbers, we figured out it was between 12 and 16. If we put the decimal point at the end, that gives us 128. That's too high. If we put it between the 2 and the 8, that makes sense. If we put it between the 1 and the 2, or even in front of the 1, those numbers are both too small. So our decimal point goes in between the 12 and the 8. Our answer is 12 8/10, because our answer was supposed to be between 12 and 16. And now I want you to pause the video and try question number 2 by yourself. And once you're done, unpause it so you can check your answer with mine. Hold off on doing 3 and 4 first. Let's see if you get number 2 right by yourself. So we're multiplying 1 5/10, or 1.5, times 6. If I estimate, I'm going to multiply 1 times 6 because 1.5 is between 1 and 2 when we're looking at whole numbers. So 1 times 6 is 6, and 2 times 6 is 12. What that tells us is when we do our decimal multiplication, our decimal point needs to go somewhere that makes our answer between 6 and 12. Eventually, you won't have to write out these steps. So then we remove the decimal and multiply using whole numbers and standard algorithm. 6 times 5 is 30. I need to carry the 3 into the tens column. 1 times 6 is 6. Add the 3, and then we get 90. Now we know that 1.5 times 6 is not going to give us an answer as big as 90. So we need to put the decimal point somewhere where the answer is between 6 and 12. If I put it at the end, the answer would be 90. If I put it between the 9 and the 0, the answer would be 9. And if I put it in front of the 9, it would be way too small at just 9/10. So it makes sense for the decimal point to go between the 9 and the 0. All right, now I want you to pause and try problems 3 and 4 by yourself before you unpause and check your answers with me. I hope you paused and tried it yourself because it's really important that you don't just watch. For number 3, we're multiplying 2 and 8/10 by 7. 2.8 is between the whole numbers 2 and 3. So I'm multiplying 2 times 7. That gives us an answer of 14. And then 3 times 7. That gives us an answer of 21. That means our ultimate answer needs to be between 14 and 21. We're going to remove the decimal and multiply using standard algorithm. First, we multiply 7 times 8, which is 56, and then 7 times 2, which is 14, and if we add the 5 that we had to carry over, that gives us 19. So 28 times 7 is 196, which is way too big, so we need to correctly place the decimal point. Our answer should be between 14 and 21. Hopefully when you tried it by yourself, you noticed that you needed to put the decimal point between the 9 and the 6, because that would give us 19.6, which is higher than 14, but lower than 21. All right, let's take a look at number 4, and after number 4, we'll move on to some word problems. We're going to multiply 4 and 6/10 by 3. And first we'll estimate so we know where our decimal point is going to go. 4.6 is between the whole numbers of 4 and 5. So we're going to multiply 3 times 4, actually 4 times 3, which is 12, and then 5 times 3, which is 15. That shows us that our answer will be between 12 and 15. We're going to remove the decimal point and multiply using whole numbers and standard algorithm. 3 times 6 is 18, and then 3 times 4 is 12, plus the 1 that's already there, and that gives us 138. In order for our answer to be between 12 and 15, our decimal point is going to need to go between the 3 and the 8, because 13.8 is greater than 12, but less than 15. So 13 and 8/10. Okay, let's jump into a couple of word problems. Each episode of your favorite series costs $2.50 to download. If you download 12 episodes, how much money will you spend? So I'd like you to pause and try this yourself. Remember, you're trying to grow your brain. Watching me do it all the time is not going to help you grow your brain. Okay, thank you for pausing. So I'm going to highlight each episode, and then the cost, which is $2.50, and then we download 12, and the question is asking us how much we spend. So in this problem, if each episode of my favorite TV series or your favorite TV series costs $2.50, which is 2 and 5/10, we need to multiply that by 12 to get the final cost. Let's multiply 2 and 5/10 times 12. First, I'm going to estimate. We'll round $2.50 to the nearest whole number below it and whole number above it. $2.50 is between the whole numbers of 2 and 3. Then we're going to take those whole numbers and quickly multiply them by 12. And this is a math fact. So 2 times 12 is 24. And 3 times 12 is 36. That means our answer needs to be somewhere between 24 and 36 to make sense. That'll help us place our decimal point correctly. Our next step is to remove the decimal point and multiply. Now, we can remove the decimal point and we can multiply 25 times 12, or we can multiply 250 times 12. Either way, you're going to get the same answer. Just trust me and watch. So we're multiplying 25 times 12 and 250 times 12. We don't really need the 0 on the end, but some kids put it there, and so I'll show you that we can do that and still have it make sense. 2 times 5 is 10. I've got to carry the 1 into the tens column. 2 times 2 is 4, plus the 1 that's already there. And then we need to put our 0 placeholder in the ones column and multiply 1 times 5 and 1 times 2. And that gives us 300. Now, if you're really good at multiplication, I'm sure you can guess that 250 times 12 is going to give us 3,000. Those numbers are really different, 300 and 3,000. So why is it still going to make sense that we're going to get the correct answer? It all comes back to our estimating. If we estimated correctly, we should know where to place the decimal point correctly. I'm almost done multiplying 250 times 12. Let me just add these two numbers together. Okay, just like I said before, 250 times 12 is 3,000. Now if we go back to our estimate where we looked at $2.50 to see what whole numbers $2.50 was between, we saw that our answer should be somewhere between 24 and 36. So we've got to put the decimal in a place that makes sense to give us an answer between 24 and 36. I'm showing you lots of places that the decimal point could be placed. But if you notice, if it's placed between these two zeros here, that gives us an answer of 30. And then I'll need to add another 0 on the end because we're working with money. And when we're working with money, there's always two decimal places after, or 2 places after the decimal point to indicate cents. Now, if I had multiplied by 250, since I know what my answer should be between 24 and 36, you know to place your decimal point between the zeros that give us 30. It's the same answer. So you didn't need the 0 on the end when we removed the decimal point and multiplied, but if you did have it on the end, you would not get an incorrect answer. So if I buy, or if you buy, 12 episodes of your favorite TV show, it would cost $30, which is a lot of money. I don't think I would spend $30 on 12 episodes of a show unless I couldn't find it anywhere else, and it was absolutely amazing. Hopefully it's just streaming on Netflix. So if I buy 12 episodes of my favorite show, it will cost $30. Let's do one more word problem before we end today. A graphic novel series consists of 8 volumes. That means there's 8 books. each priced at $6.25. What is the total cost if you buy the entire series? So pause and try. See what you can figure out. Okay, 8 volumes, each priced at $6.25. We're multiplying 8 times $6.25. 8 books, each are $6.25. And we're going to see how much money it costs. This is kind of a real-world problem when you're budgeting and seeing how much things cost and how much money you have. Now, I'm going to estimate very, very quickly. I'm going to do 8 times 6 and 8 times 7. I'm not going to write all of the rounding and estimating down like I have been, because we're getting better at this. So, 8 times 6 is, do you have your math facts memorized? Or fluent, I should say, quickly? 8 times 6 is 48, there you go. And 8 times 7 is 56. So our answer should be between $48 and $56 because I multiplied by 8 times 6 and 8 times 7. Now we're going to remove the decimal and multiply using standard algorithm. So I'm going to stack 625 above 8 and multiply. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 5 is 40. I get to keep the 0 and carry the 4 into the tens column. 2 times 8 is 16, plus the 4 that's already there, that gives us 20. And then finally, 8 times 6 is 48, but then we have to add the 2 that we carried over, so that gives us 50. So 625 times 8 is 5,000. That's a lot of money for books. We know that's wrong. We need to place a decimal point in a place that will give us an answer between 48 and 56. And you guessed it. Our answer is 50. It's going to go between the first 2 zeros. That tells us that if we buy 8 books that are each $6.25, it'll cost $50. And when you're working on word problems, it's really important to answer in a sentence because this shows that you actually understand the number that you came up with. If I buy all 8 books at $6.25 each, it will cost $50. All right, students, thanks for sticking with me. Have a great day.